Dylan White in the chat. Well.
Oh, these Indian asses in here.
Whoa. We're listening to foreign music. I got WWE pulled up. That's how you know we're winning, man. Sam Reese sighting too. Wow, we got a lot of obscure sightings going down right now. Chat, what game should I play?
Oh, you can't switch games while you're streaming. By the way, the streamlined.
Okay, it looks like we got a good hours worth of WWE here. This is not what I planned on doing. That is sick. Okay. What kind of match should I do? Should I do a tournament? I don't even know what to do. Where to start here? I'm not even gonna try and get online. I should get disconnect.
Alright.
We can start now, I guess, since I was gonna ask everybody what game I should play first, but 10 people for themselves. Okay, we're doing. That's not an option, but we're gonna do. We can do 8 people for themselves. That plays. I'm doing a damn ladder match, so. Oh, actually sent me a video. All right, boys. We're gonna give everybody like literally a minute and 36 seconds on the dot to show up and get in the stream, and then we're gonna get going.
When you said that I love, does that mean I'm the closest one around? No, I got a lot of bucks, salsa.
Alright, guys, we're starting now. Looks like we have to play WWE because apparently I just can't switch streams. Switch games midstream. I was just gonna start here so we could goof around for a second and then move, but apparently I can't switch midstream or it'll end. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could have done that, but I'm afraid I would have messed up and shared the overalls. So. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bait everybody that didn't
man?
join, and then I'm gonna delete the add everyone and put another one. Yep, they just got baited. All right, bet. All right, guys. I guess we can just start off. We can talk about this week's games. We can go one at a time. All through them. But
All
I
right,
think
what's
just
the
first one
first
was
game?
Union Comets. And there's been a lot of. I feel like there's been a lot of good games though.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, like I think Union Comets. I think that's a game. I don't even like week one. Week one's so hard to gauge. After week one, you know,
Mhm.
it's so random that it's weird. I don't know. Like that was not a
Yeah.
game on my radar for being like the two best teams in the league. I thought the Generals would handle things like fairly easily, and they just didn't.
Definitely. Um, but for the Comets, uh, Comets Union game, it was really all about Lick Ball. Uh, he just kind of did whatever he wanted, and even he had a few shots on the perimeter, and you know, with the lack of weight in the front court of the Comets, it just kind of allowed him to just do whatever he wanted in the post.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That might be an ongoing problem that the Comets have to deal with. Hopefully not for their sake, but if it is, it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how they adjust.
hmm
Were there any other games that stuck out to you in week one there?
Um,
Look at the box
the
scores here.
Armadillos, the it's just it's hard to watch the first Armadillos game and just sit there and say that they're going to be a decent team because I mean there's really no positives from that
I mean,
game.
yeah, and what I was thinking about today, what does that even mean for the Knights? Because, I mean, I read through Kyler's article. He did a great job. If you haven't read that, I would definitely suggest going to read that if you want to keep up with the league and whatnot. And I would definitely, like, go and read that if I was you, but, I don't know. It just felt weird watching them get blown out today by the Comets and, after they just beat what was possibly the worst team in the league. Like, I don't know.
No, yeah, definitely. But no, yeah. I mean, just a lot of questions surrounding a lot of these teams though. Like uh, like the Sharks. I mean, they struggled defensively a lot. Like week one, but again, their offense didn't look terrible at all. But like, if you look at Generals week two, Generals didn't look like as dominant of an offense as they were in the second week. But like that just might just say the Sharks' defense is really shit. So
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And the range too, dude. That was another game I looked at. Especially, I looked deeper into it once I read Kyler's article. Like I said, dude, if you haven't looked at that article, definitely go look at it if you care at all about just staying up to date in the league and like what's going on. Because I think that really helped open my eyes to things, even though I watched most of the games.
mhm.
Um, But yeah, the Range were really kind of a concerning team there, only scoring 98 points, even though they got the W. Like, I mean, that game, both sides of the ball were so sloppy there, so it should be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like that was 98-90. It was like I don't know what to say about either of these two offenses. I just have to see them play this week.
Yeah, it's really hard just to gauge that game, especially with the Kodiaks come out and play it, and all right.
Yeah, the Kodiaks definitely bounced back. I mean, after lack of play with Ricky Blake, he came back and he played a good amount in the game. He kind of showed why you have to play him.
Yeah, what about the Jets game? Jets and Rattlers. Is it a bad look for the
Um,
Jets now that the Kodiaks got a big win against the Rattlers?
it could be the Jets didn't look like a great team
Outside of really
in the first
Greg.
week.
I feel like Greg looked fine.
No, yeah, Greg. But the thing is, they didn't use Greg as much as they needed to. That was the
Yeah,
problem.
and I feel like he scored it really efficiently too.
No, yeah, and like
Like he absolutely
they
could have
just
been
need
involved
to
more.
involve Greg more in the game plan, and they're gonna see a lot more success. But if they continue to do what they did last week, then they're just gonna struggle.
Yeah. Um. Oh, there's some comments coming in right now that I'm gonna go through and here and read real quick, just because a lot of them look they're giving good responses here. Comical says Range played well. I thought I watched. So yeah, I can see that. I didn't go and watch the full Range game, so I'm not gonna argue with you at all there. I feel like if you watch the Range game, you absolutely have a better grasp on it than I do. So that's it. Definitely, I'm glad we got that perspective in here from somebody that's watched this. Jacob, I don't know who this is, says Ricky Blake only played 3 minutes more this week than last week. It isn't about how much time you're given, it's what you do with it. So yeah, I think what he's basically saying is just that Ricky could have been doing everything he did this week last week, and that it's not really that big of a deal. Because I mean, if you go back and look at it, he played 35 minutes in week 1. It wasn't like he was out of the game the
Wow,
whole
I
time.
didn't even realize
He
that.
played 35 minutes. It wasn't like he was. So I don't know. I mean, this might be more of a Ricky Blake issue than a team issue, I think is what that comment there is trying to say. Appreciate that input.
Oh, yeah.
Greg says, I shot 70%. I feel like I've always been underutilized throughout my 2KSL career. Yeah, I feel like you've always been a kind of a dark horse kind of guy throughout your whole career. I can agree with
Definitely,
that.
I think I've said it before. If you were on better teams and better managed teams, as far as the in-game coaching goes, I think. No, wait, no, I said that about Nas. My bad, wrong person. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, maybe it is a Ricky Blake issue. We gotta. What is my dog on about? But no, yeah, we definitely gotta take a close look at that in the next week and see his utilization and see maybe if he even performs well enough. And
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of these players they don't perform well, right? And they immediately just go and turn to the coaches and act like it's their fault,
Well, okay, so there's another perspective coming in here, and he says, Ricky Blake says, stop it. I played last week and got subbed out when I was bringing them back. And then Comical says, LMAO, true. I got subbed out after scoring like 10 in a row to bring them back to a close game. So yeah, I can understand that too. Maybe it was just the time he got subbed out that he's more upset with than the minutes themselves, which I respect that. Which, that's valid. If you were bringing a team back in the game, I'd be frustrated too. Did we cover Sharks game? Grayson said, he said it was a lack of bench usage and bad defense. I can agree with that. I think defensively they need to be better, but I'm going to get raped. I'm going to get sex trafficked by McMahon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, bench utilization needs to be a little bit more adamant, and I mean, you guys just weren't able to fully take advantage of the Generals bench, which we can all agree it's not great.
He said the bench ended up with 41 minutes. That's insane. But I mean, the bench was like kind of your driving force, in my opinion. Like, I mean, you had Jackson Young off the bench and Cam Stacy that were like your 2 and 3 leading scorers.
Yeah. But another thing, they use Grayson more in that game. I think it's, I don't know who wins that.
Yeah, me either. Like that first half, it was even maybe not even first half. That first quarter was really just so bad that. I mean, if they could have just not played that bad of a first quarter, we might have seen a close game there.
Yeah. Maybe it was just an off quarter. Maybe this Sharks team isn't as bad as everybody may think. But from what we've seen so far, they obviously have problems, but a lot of these problems can easily be fixed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, it's not a horrible position that the Sharks are in by any means. Yeah.
Yeah. We have another take inside from Comical here. He says Vancouver's main problem last week was their ability to get open shots against Utah. Utah was making all their open shots. Meanwhile, Vancouver made hardly any. Yeah. I respect that take.
Kind of did see that. What was that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
What you said? Oh no. I mean, we kind of did see that inability to really shoot today. If anything, they did miss a lot of open shots from what I saw. Maybe they're just not a good shooting team at all. But I mean, they definitely got to change it up. You know, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be
centered toward.
I wouldn't be surprised if they traded Ricky Blake for somebody if they trusted shooting the ball a little more, or just a couple guys that they trusted shooting guard, even if it was a two-player trade type situation.
I mean, I feel like a good player. I mean, if they were to trade for somebody, it would be Caleb Mueller.
Oh yeah, I could see that trade working out. I just don't know if they could get the Union to agree to that. I mean, the Union,
I don't think
as successful as they've been, I don't know if they would want to even look at tampering with this roster. 2-0 in conference so far. I think that's one of those things you just kind of leave alone. But I could definitely see the package there, like that being a guy that they at least make the phone call about.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, who else? Who else haven't we really talked about?
I think we've pretty much covered all the games from this week and last week, for the most part. We can go ahead and we can discuss the trade rumors if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, the first one being Ricky Blake, who we just mentioned.
Yeah.
I just can't see Vancouver trading him. I mean, he's such a great player.
Here's the problem though, is that I don't, after the W this week against the Rattlers, I mean, I don't see them getting rid of the coach either. I mean,
no, definitely.
It's kind of a rock and a hard place situation. Like, you don't know if they'd rather get rid of the coach or get rid of the player. Like, there's no happy medium or anything.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to go, because it's. I mean, that's another thing, is we don't know if Ricky even wants to leave still. I mean, I would assume that he did, but I mean, we haven't heard any sort of news based about Ricky leaving. Like since the W today. I mean, it does seem Ricky's still unhappy. I saw, I've seen him say something about the coaching staff and how he's not a fan of them. But I mean, I just don't know.
I 100% see where you're coming from there. I mean, hold on really doubling down on requesting that trade until we see what it's only been 2 games. It's not like we can. I know it's only a 7-game season, and if you want to make these type of decisions, you got to make them quick, But at the same time, you just got to really play it out and see if maybe this isn't the right decision. Maybe if we do this, it would be a big mistake, and could be the difference in the playoffs and not the playoffs.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. It's like I said earlier. This season's so short that you never know what kind of decision you're making. There's such a short season that you want to win. Every game matters, and if you think there's something you can do to give yourself a better chance of winning, every team in the league is absolutely going to take that chance. It's just, I don't know. It's just more to me like a matter of what that decision they think is. I mean, because Ricky Blake, if there's no sign that he's gonna get any sort of better about the team, if he's gonna be pissed no matter what, I think that's gonna be, they're gonna have to get rid of him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. And from the type of player he is, they can get a really good trade package.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely my favorite deal there. Not favorite. I mean, that would be, if I was them, that would be what I would look to do. I wouldn't force a trade of any sort, but.
No, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, what do you see them doing? You think that they just, you think they plan on making the trade, or do you think that they're gonna look to leave the roster the same?
I mean, obviously for the drama or whatever, I want them to make the trade, but realistically, I just don't see him, pulling the trigger that early.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. I think that they're gonna try and drag it out, try and consult with Blake. But I mean, if it comes to the points where Blake will not play under the coach, I mean, like that's just the whole. I think the whole situation is bad for the locker room. I think that the whole team's upset about it. I think everybody has to feel some type of way about it. Has to have their opinion on it. So I don't really know. I feel like the whole situation getting handled sooner rather than later gives them the best chance of making the playoffs, just because of the fact that you know they need to get this whole drama cleared, let the locker room be clean, and get ready for a playoff push.
Definitely. As far as the Saka news, what do you think on that one?
The Saka?
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't seem like they wanted to trade him, but I feel like Ricky Blake would Kyler said in his article. I feel like that's one of those offers that you've got to hear out. Even though they don't want to trade him, it's just a game. It's like, I mean, you've got a lot of season left, but I mean, if you get a call about that kind of an offer that you feel like you could benefit from, obviously I don't think that they're going to go seek out a trade, but I mean, we've already heard reports today that they've been in talks. So I think that trade, I mean, we could see that even in the coming days.
I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. I mean, I don't think it would be fair to the Armadillos because the type of player that Saka is and the type of player that Ricky Blake is, they're just not really comparable to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ricky Blake might be a step above Saka as far as a player. I mean, I think Saka is definitely a really, really good starter, but I think Ricky Blake, you're talking an all-star, you're talking guy that could be fringe All-NBA by the end of the season, or maybe not even fringe. No, I mean, all 2KSL, I mean. But I mean, I think he's a guy that could be fringe, or not even fringe. I mean, a lot of guards in the league, but I mean, I can't think of a lot of guards off the top of my head that are just going to be all out, straight up better than him, I especially can't think of, 10 of them.
Definitely.
So, I mean, kind of a tough situation to be in there.
I mean, for both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Saka, he wasn't pleased at all by what he's seen from that first game, and I don't think anybody was that was a part of that Armadillos team. But for you to already lose hope on the team after 48 minutes of basketball, or 40, whatever, how many minutes of basketball they're playing, I think that just says a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to think do these GMs think about that and they're like he's a good player, but for him to quit out on a team that easily, is he worth going to give up some of our assets to go get? And what if we lose? Is he going to give up on us too?
Yeah, I understand that. But I think that's why, Vancouver would be so willing to just make the trade, because Ricky Blake's clearly showed his frustration. The locker room couldn't get worse right now for them. I feel like they could take Saka and worry about the repercussions later. I think obviously, like you said, there's going to be, that the players aren't on the same level, and so you're going to have to make a tough decision. And I think that Vancouver would have to receive another decent player or some picks also in return for Ricky Blake.
Yeah.
But I definitely do see the two being able to get a deal done. I think it's not too far-fetched, but I don't see him going anywhere else, because I don't think that if the comments call and say, hey, we're trying to get rid of David, I think they just hang up the phone. They don't want to trade him already, but I mean, I think they would if they get the right offer, like I'd already said.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Vancouver's the only team to be willing to make an offer like that right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe we see a team come out of nowhere and just, swoop in and trade for him. Like, I doubt the Union make any moves because, I mean, they're probably flat out the best team in the league right now.
I mean, yeah.
but maybe you see the Sharks.
Yeah, I mean the Sharks could definitely be a team that tries to swoop in and make a move on him.
Oh, what? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My my dog unplugged my mic, but what I was saying was maybe you see like a team like the Sharks invest in some defense there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
definitely. I mean, the Sharks have been reportedly really interested in David, and so
yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, I have seen reports that um, the I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
oh, you're good. Well, you know, David. be- Oh, what were we just talking about? The Sharks swooping in and getting Hakeem Saka. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, they're already interested in David. So I mean, at that point, I could see them being willing to just make the splurge and go all in and try and get David. I mean, not David Saka. Like, I mean, I could see that being a possibility. They'd obviously have to give up a lot more than they would for David. I mean, you could see David in a 1-for-1 swap. Maybe a pick's involved. Maybe it's not. I don't really know. But I mean, for Saka, they definitely have to give up a lot more than that. But it's definitely not out of the ballpark. You know, it's definitely in the realm of possibilities, especially if they want to go for a more win now type of look. Especially like, you know, I think they all believe in what they saw in the first week, you know, in the second half. And they believe that's the kind of team they can be. So if they want to upgrade somewhere, then I think that would definitely be the move. David said, "Do you think the Rain? How do you think the Rain will perform this season? Are they a postseason caliber team? I mean, I think the Rain are really solid. I think they've got 5 guys all around that can absolutely. But I do think that they've got a lot of guys that are going to be able to, you know, hurt you. I don't. I'm trying to think of a good way to express it. Like they don't have a guy that's gonna just take over the game, but they've got 5 guys that can all do a little bit of damage everywhere. You know, in a committee attack, and that's kind of the big thing with them. Right now, I saw Kyler had him ranked 2. I don't know if I'd rank him that high, but I mean, we've only seen him play 1 week. It's really hard. That's my only thing about ranking him that high. We really haven't seen a lot of basketball out of them, so depending on how they play this week will definitely impact what I think of them. But right now, I think they're super solid all around. I think they're going to be a consistently really good team. So, do we have any other trade rumors to talk about?
Oh, I was muted this entire time. But what I was saying about what I was saying was like it's really hard to place a value on David because you know he performed so well in the first game and then comes out in the second game and just looks terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to, be like it's going to be really hard for teams to even want to make an offer because they don't know what the comments are going to value him at for one, and they don't know what they just don't know what they're going to be able to get out of it.
Definitely. Like you're gonna get maybe a Allen Irving caliber player or maybe like a fringe all star. Like you just never know.
Yeah, and I think that scares some teams because they're going to want somebody a little safer, but at the same time, a high risk, high reward type situation that might be
Definitely.
intriguing to some teams.
Yeah, I mean he's shown flashes of what he could be, but in that second game, he didn't show anything good, and
Oh yeah, it was
that's
terrible.
definitely something to take into account if you're any team looking to trade for him.
I mean, part of the thing too that you might want to consider is that maybe it's the Comets system. In every Comets game, there's always been one guard that was lackluster, and so maybe it's just the system and the way that the playbook goes that they don't get the right calls.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
could.
mean that's definitely a big possibility.
I mean, I don't want to just completely give them all the bailout, but Allen Irving was pretty good this week, and he was really terrible last week. So
Yeah,
to me, it's really hard to put a value on a player like that in a system that's really not even made for guards at all. I mean, they're clearly a front court system, and so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
What do you?
at the same time, um, it's just Allen Irving just performs so much better off the bench. Maybe he's just a guy that's gonna come off the bench and give you 14. Maybe he's not built for going against starting caliber team players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. I was just
No,
saying.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But no, yeah. And I mean, yeah. Is there any other trade rumors that's been circulating?
David, but like we talked about, he's definitely like. I mean, the Sharks are heavily interested in David, is what it seems. You know, he was seen there today. He immediately must have flew out after the Comets game. You know, I don't know. If
And
I were
and
to see him be traded, I think that would be the team.
and another thing I've been hearing about, it's not a verified source or anything, but um, the Flamingos have actually been, they looks like their team chemistry hasn't really been up to par. Uh, I've heard bad things about AJ Navas and his personality and kind of butting heads with the team. So hopefully, I mean that's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah.
And yeah,
What's next? You go into the Q&A here.
I mean yeah we can.
All right, guys. So if you have any sort of questions about a team or about like kind of like league related stuff, kind of like stuff we've all been saying in chat already, you know, about how a team's gonna do, how a player's gonna do, you know. Obviously,
Yeah,
don't everyone get in here and ask what we think of your player. Like, I'm gonna
yeah.
ignore those questions, but you know, if you have any like genuine questions about what you've seen in the league, you know, let us hear some. We'd love to talk about them.
Is there any questions or no?
David said, I'm inconsistent, so they'd really have to offer a bench player and a future second rounder. When can I make my prediction? What did he say? When can I make my prediction? I can't read it. There's a heart in the way. Prediction, something will unexpectedly become reality. I don't even know what you're yapping about, David. I'm going to be so honest. No idea what you're talking about.
We don't know that. Yeah, but like, there's been a lot of exciting action week one.
Someone says, what do you see the Flamingos doing this season with their lack of team chemistry? AJ is a stud, but his attitude and concerns hold him back enough to where I'm questionable.
Uh, Definitely. I mean, when your star player has character issues, it's really tough. You know what I mean? Because at one point this guy's supposed to be the leader. You know what I mean? This guy's supposed to lead your team in the battles, and when he doesn't, I mean, it just seems like AJ Navas doesn't care about his team. You know what I mean? It just seems like he's just in it for himself, and you can't really just have that. I mean, it's tough on any team when your star player thinks like that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I don't know. I'm not too worried. I haven't seen too much out of AJ Navas that makes me just absolutely worry about the team chemistry problems. You know, also haven't been like just absolutely religiously keeping tabs on the Flamingos because I was at my mom's when they were streaming their game. But you know, I think that just like anything, there's definitely can be some locker room trouble in every team. But as long as they can get it together, you know, and rally and play ball when it matters, I think that it shouldn't be too big of a problem for them, and they'll compete to whatever success that They should have. Another question is, what do you think the best duo in the league right now is? Or I just read that like a sped. Who do you think the best duo in the league? Who do you think is the best duo in the league right now?
This might be a little biased, but I think it's Chance Curran and Tez Turner.
Yeah, as far as like duo scoring, I can see that. Like,
I mean, another one would obviously be, Boston and Chance.
Boston.
They look like a really good duo.
Boston and Rondo or Boston and Chance? You think?
I mean, it can be either way. Rondo, Chance. I think they're still up there.
Boston and somebody. Chase and Liquid Ball, I would put on there too.
Yeah.
Just because Chases look really good. AJ and Sam. Jaycott and Cole might be my pick, low-key.
Oh no, yeah, that's another really tough duo.
But I don't know. Jaycott, yeah, you and Chance have been putting up, I mean, close to 20 points and double-doubles, great defensively tall. There's a couple good duos in the league right now, definitely, that I'd have to sit down and look at that. That was a good question. Who has the most team chemistry right now?
I mean, the Knights.
They look like
a really tight-knit locker room.
Yeah, I think things are going really well over there. They have a couple active players. They all kind of get along really well, even though if Ian Ibaka doesn't like the coach. Like, I think they all get along. There's no problems. Like, the Comets are all pretty active. I don't even say they're all. They have, like, 3 or 4 active guys. But, I mean, David is, like, demanding a trade, so that really kind of, I think, hurts the locker room.
Yeah.
But I think the Knights definitely are a tight-knit locker room. They all seem to get along. I think a lot of them can take accountability. Like I saw today, John Jones came in there and was like, my bad, boys. I was, wasn't doing my best ball today. I'm going to improve. I think being able to have that kind of leadership, come into the locker room and say that. His teammates were all supportive. None of them were trash-talking. Everybody came in there, was like, you're good, bro. You're going to get it back next week. So I think that, it says a lot about that locker room and their commitment to win, and that's why I think they're going to be successful throughout the rest of the season. A lot of questions in chat right now. Definitely don't think we're ignoring anybody. We're going to go down the list, so just stick around and we'll answer them. What's our pick right now to win it all? Early pick, probably. I think the Union are just the safest bet, honestly. Yeah. Just if I'm going to say that now. 100% agree there.
It's hard to find a team so far that just plays like them. Like they have 3 scores that can pop off and go for 30 if they wanted to, and not even to mention their bench is really solid.
Yeah. I also think they're a good rebounding team because we saw against the Sharks that the Generals look like a really solid rebounding unit. Their bigs look dominant, but just that was not there at all against the Union. Lickma Balls and Big Request just dominated on the board. So I think that they're the most solid all-around team. They rebound well, they shoot it well, they handle it well. I just don't think there's anything that they're really bad at. They don't have a weakness. So I think they're really going to be a tough team. David says, next question. This is for Tay. If I don't get traded, can I come off the bench just so I get in the hang of the playbook? Talk to your coach, brother. Talk to your coach,
that's definitely
brother.
For the head coach.
Is there a possible chance the Flamingos see a rebuild opportunity and move AJ Navas for an absolute abundance of value?
Definitely. Honestly, I think that's.
I don't think the problem.
It just depends.
I don't think the problem's that severe right now. I think if it gets worse, obviously, I think the teams are the locker room's important to the coaches, but I think the way it is right now, I don't see them just giving up already. AJ Navas is too talented. Even if he does have it has a little bit of drama, a little bit of problems with the teammates, he's going to win them more games than trading him will. Do you agree with that, Devontae? You have a different take on the situation?
No, yeah. The only reason I really said yeah is just in a scenario where they just aren't a good team. But I mean, we haven't
Yeah.
seen anything really bad from them so far.
Yeah. If they are unsuccessful, I could see a move being made just because they're already unsuccessful. Might as well try and be unsuccessful, keep everybody happy that like the young guys that they have, keep their core together. So yeah, I can understand that. Let's read another question off here. How many games this season? If you answered already, I'm sorry I didn't hear you. 7
Okay.
during the regular season. You'll play every team in your division twice, then you'll play the other division from your conference once. So that totals up to
Yeah.
7 games. What do you think the coaching staff of the Knights should do after that loss earlier? How do you think the coach can get more effort out of his players? After the first quarter, it seemed like they quit.
Man.
It's a good question.
I don't know.
I mean, I think that it's gonna be more of just instilling that into their head, just the importance of every single game, not just your conference games. 'Cause I think that was a big thing for them is that they had a big win last week. They might have came into the game a little bit arrogant. I'm not saying that was the case. They might have came into it a little bit more comfortable than they should have been. Maybe that would be a better
Yeah.
word than arrogant. They were a little bit like laid back. They were, oh yeah, it's fine, not a big deal. But I think that if you instill that value to them, just how important every game is, because it wasn't a conference game, and I know the conference games by far seem the most important to most players. So
And definitely, like you said, they look a little too comfortable, especially with ball security. They definitely turn the ball over a lot. And if when you turn over the ball 8 times in the first quarter, you're definitely not gonna win. You know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah, I couldn't agree more. So yeah, I think that it's more of just instilling the importance, of those tiebreaker games, because there's a good chance that you would tie somebody in conference play, and so just I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me look at another question. Discuss Carl Gallagher being the most media-loved player, and his playmaking skills are out of his world as seen in this clip. Yeah, I guess everybody loves Carl. I don't know if everyone loves Carl or just Carl loves Carl. I haven't seen anybody else post a Carl clip, but hey, self-love is what matters, brother. You love yourself.
Exactly.
Haters can never bring you down. Let's see here. It says, boo, media releases top landing spots. Okay, that would be it. I'll check that out after this. Everybody should check it out if you haven't already. Opinion. Oh, hold up. Sorry, I skipped one. Any idea on what team may get the first pick?
I mean, the Armadillos. I mean, they're the only team that's really looked that poor. So.
Yeah, if they don't show it.
I mean, it's so early. You can't really,
Yeah, I agree. I think the way the Kodiaks played today, that it's definitely won't be them. It's kind of up in the air, but I think the safe pick right now is Armadillos. Another one is the Rattlers lost and really fell off at the end of the game. As the coach, what would you do to bring the best out of your team, even though they still played well? Yeah, it was definitely a tough loss for them. There's no other way to put it. But if I'm the coach, I would just, tell them keep their heads up. We got a lot of season left, Coach talking to a team.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I really couldn't agree more.
Let's see here. Is there a couple more? speak now or forever hold your peace.
I think David's question was opinions how the Comets can improve their guard situation.
Oh, I mean, I think that you might giving it some time might be your best case, but
I
also
mean,
at
if
the
they want to
same,
make a move here, it would just be move David.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah. I think that moving David definitely is a start. He's already requested a trade. That would be my first move. But outside of that, I think you got to let it develop a little bit,
No, yeah, definitely.
see how it goes, then you can look at trades more close to the deadline. Ricky Blake says, "What should
I
I
mean,
do with
they're
my situation?" You know, I mean, if you're as unhappy as you are with the coaching staff, I don't know. You can continue to put pressure on the organization. I'm not gonna just tell you what you should do. I mean, if you like what you saw today and you're happy with it and you think the coach improved, then you could stick around. But if you weren't, if you still, even though you got the minutes you wanted, you weren't happy with the system or the way that things went, you could end things here and be no more with the Kodiaks. At least apply some pressure for them to look for a better coach.
yeah.
Bill Burr said, "Do you think there are too many players overreacting this early in the season?" Uh, I mean, yeah, I
A little
understand.
bit.
So I think there's some frustrations early on. It's early season, but I also think that there's some valid things to be upset about. I don't know if I would immediately be as upset as some are, but I would definitely be upset in some of those situations. There's definitely some valid. There's some truth to both sides. Who are the current best 5 players right now? Lick my balls has got to be one, right?
No, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no other player as dominant as he is.
Let's look at. I mean, AJ Navas probably up there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Joseph Cadenbay is probably up there. Kryptonite is probably up there as well.
I mean,
I think it goes
does
lick
Chance
my
slide up there?
balls.
He's had 26 and
Chance.
12 with 5 steals this week, and last week he was a 20-point double-double as well.
Oh, no, yeah, Chance is definitely up there. It's so hard to rank people this early. I need to see
Yeah,
more from them.
you have such a small sample size. I think Colby would probably be another one that would be up towards the top for me.
Definitely.
I don't know. I think that Kryptonite would be high, but I don't know. I'm thinking probably goes for me. Lick my balls, AJ Navas, probably. I mean, probably Jay Cotta or Cole. Probably Cole. He's been really good, and then probably Chance, maybe, and then the Kryptonite, just because I
Yeah.
think that he played better. Bug might be up there, might be in the conversation. He shot it a little better.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, those are my early predictions, I would have to say. After the Knights game, seeing a guy like John Jones step up and take the brunt of the loss for the team, do you think he'll emerge as a team leader and help raise the morale of the team? I mean, definitely. I think any player like that can, yeah, his teammates can see him being selfless, being, accountable and looking to improve already. I feel like that's definitely somebody that people will look to as a leader because, that's how you gain respect from your teammates and your peers, and I feel like that's what he's on track of doing, is becoming a great locker room leader. Great presence to have on the team. So absolutely, I think that he already has after the loss. I think that definitely is something you'd like to see from a valuable player on the team. So I absolutely respect that, and I absolutely think it helps in every aspect. I agree
Definitely.
that David says, I agree that I'm the reason for most of the struggles of my team. So would there be any way to fix I can't read that part because it's like there's a little heart in the way.
Any way to help with all my mistakes.
To fix that help with all my mistakes. I guess you just gotta improve. Take some time,
And I wouldn't even say that you are the problem of the team at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're just the one that just blew it all. I mean, you guys won pretty big today. I mean, this might not have been your day, or maybe you just had a really good first week. We don't know. I think we're caught up on questions. This is the last call, probably the last round we're gonna do. So if anyone has anything else, let us know now, or never let us know ever. I don't see any more questions coming in, so I think that's going to wrap us up. But we really appreciate everybody stopping by, asking questions. It helps a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had fun. It's always fun talking about the league with you guys. So yeah, we'll see you guys. We probably won't do a game tonight because it's so late. But we'll be back tomorrow morning with another game. So love you guys.
Yep.